Preparing to live stream the meeting. Aha, there I am. That's good news. We are live. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolé Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet. And we'd like to welcome you to today's show, where we're getting a bit interactive. And John is going to tell us more about it.
Yeah, we kind of this is our first one back for about 4 weeks or so, I think now. But we decided that this week what we're going to do is keep it more interactive, as Jolé says. So we're going to have more breaks in between where we're going to come back live and we're going to discuss things, and we would welcome thoughts along the way because there's a lot of really deep points to be made here, and it's really super empowering. And that's one of the things I loved about this Humanity as a Simulation series that we put out. And if you didn't catch it, by all means go into our Elevated Planet channel and you'll find all 5 episodes there. Because what I've found is that, you start to understand the rules of the game, right? This is what we're here for. We are in a simulation. We are in a holographically projected simulation. And I always think that sounds so crazy. But once you start to understand and get under the skin of what that really means, then you start to think, wow, how fantastic. This is really what this is about, and we can have a lot of fun with this because we now understand the rules of the game when we didn't before. And this is what we're expanding upon this week. And really, we're going to just tap into the wisdom of a lot of people. And it's very profound stuff, but it's also an opportunity to take a step back, discuss it. And again, as you have points, as you raise those points, then by all means, please do so, because we can keep it all interactive then with our community. And welcome back. Thank you, everybody who is here today. Truly appreciate that. And basically, I'm back from my wedding in Mauritius. So, we did that going back 6th of October. We got married out there. Had a fabulous time over there. We were there with my daughter as well, and also my sister. And my daughter's friend Nick, he was there, and we're going to show you some pictures of that as well as we go into the first little mini section. But yeah, it's an exciting time. We had a fabulous time, and last Sunday was party time over here in the UK, so we didn't do the live last week because we were doing our for family and friends over here, and it was themed. Actually, it's quite funny because we booked this venue, which is at a pub only about 2 or 3 miles from here. And when we went in there a few weeks ago, we said, oh, by the way, it's all going to be themed for Halloween. So the entire pub gets decked out for Halloween, and they're really good at it. But they were quite apologetic because this is a wedding and it's not Halloween, right? But we decided we'd have a little bit of fun with it. So basically, we made it out to be the bride of Frankenstein kind of event, and welcome people to come in their own sort of Halloween dress, and it was a lot of fun. So Emma and I turned up as Frankenstein and the bride of Frankenstein, and that made it a little bit more fun. It was wild and crazy. But it's done. We're there. We're over the line with all this stuff, and it was a lot of fun. So Jolé, what would you care to add before we carry on into part 1?
Congratulations, John. It sounds like you're moving into unspeakable beauty. That's pretty amazing. Good. There's good things in these troubled times.
Yeah.
There's nothing really more I want to add. I think we should just get to it.
Thank you. Right, so yeah, we're going to do that. Quick comment here. We've got Donna with us as well. We've got Kit and we've got Donna. Greetings from beautiful Mile High Prescott. Welcome back and congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Donna. Right, so we're going to do it. We're going to go to part 1 now, and basically we're going to just show a few of the wedding shots. Actually, that takes us into the scene setting that really comes from the Galactic Federation. It's the Arcturian Council of 5, And it really does talk to this bifurcation kind of thing on a planetary basis and what we're going through. And then everything that ultimately follows that in the parts that follow really do kind of reinforce the point that is being made here, that the opportunity that awaits all of us. So, okay, here we go. We're going to hit that button. Bear with me a second.
In mid-October, the energies around you reached a powerful crescendo of quiet intensity, triggering an amplification in frequency that makes the once unseen split now visible to those with eyes to see. What was once merely an abstract concept, two diverging realities, two Earths on different paths, has become tangible and undeniable. You can hear it echoing in your news cycles and see it in the polarized behaviors across society. You can sense it in your own body as an almost electrical vibration beneath your skin. Many of you have indeed felt strange symptoms in recent weeks: sudden ringing in the ears, heart flutterings, waves of exhaustion or emotion that seem to arise from nowhere. This is the physical translation of the energetic split, as your very cells perceive the shifting frequencies. Many of you feel a strange anticipation or an uneasy calm, as if on the brink of something monumental. Indeed, humanity now stands within the echo between two realities. One world is collapsing under the weight of its own density, while another world is ascending in light. This is the twilight of the old and the dawn of the new earth, coexisting in a charged pause before the break of day. The energies of the planet are now functioning like a grand mirror, revealing to each of you the truth of your own vibration. Every choice of emotion and thought is magnified by the planetary field in this era, making your inner state unmistakably visible in your outer experience. This is the revealing of the choice point. Understand that the final choice is not marked by a single date on your calendar. It is made fresh in each now moment by the frequency you choose to dwell in. Each loving thought, each kind or compassionate perspective instantly expands your alignment with the new Earth timeline. Likewise, every thought born of fear, judgment, or separation immediately reinforces the grid of the old reality. In essence, the dimension you occupy is determined by the subtle, continuous stance of your consciousness. You cannot hide your vibration now, not from the world and not from your own soul. Imagine, for example, trying to smile and speak positively while secretly harboring anger or fear. In the current energies, others will sense the discord immediately, and the results of your actions will betray the true emotion underneath. Likewise, if you maintain genuine love and kindness in your heart, even amid external challenges, you will find that life responds with surprising grace to support you. This transparency is a gift because it encourages everyone to bring their inner and outer selves into alignment. As the collective frequencies intensify, reality responds to you more rapidly than ever before. Some of you have already noticed how quickly manifestations and lessons arrive based on your mindset. This is by design, dear ones. The universe is making it abundantly clear that your liberation lies in a sustained vibration of love. New Earth exists as a frequency that is available to all, but it becomes your living experience only to the degree that you embody it, consistently and wholeheartedly. The choice is before you in every breath, to anchor in love or to fall back into fear.
Okay, bear with me a second. Coming back. Right, here we are. So, yeah, this is really fascinating. This bifurcation, this planetary bifurcation thing, it really takes me back to the work of Dolores Cannon. Having been an avid reader of so much of her work, this polarization, this Earth split, has been spoken about for the longest time. And, we're going through this energetic split. It's palpable, but at the same time, we're also offered this opportunity to step onto our eagle's perch and to rise above the drama that is happening around us, because, it's an inside job. It's up to us individually to not get overly distracted by the outside world and to take, the conscious control over the things that we actually have within our gift. And that is where we're tapping into today, is really understanding that this is really all about vibrational alignment with who we are, but also where we wish to go. What, is this world of unspeakable beauty that we want to build around us, and build that vision. And don't just build the vision, feel the emotions of that vision as a wish fulfilled. This is the beauty of it. And one of the things I find most empowering is it's so simple. It's not like there's anything complex about this. In fact, the world is a lot more of a complex place than it needs to be. And I think that's kind of part of the distraction. So, it's just one of the things that I think is really so important to understand. This is not complicated. This is kind of where we can go quite simply, and we all have it within us to be able to do that. Yeah, and I've got a chart to show you that came from Chris Stiles, the Human Futurist today, which I think is really interesting. But before I do that, I'm going to bring Jolé back in. Jolé, what would you care to add?
Wow, vibrational alignment is key. I was just thinking about while you were talking that I'm just going to use an example. All these Jolés exist at these different frequencies, right?
Mm,
John, whoever you are. And when you want, let's say that you're in a state you're not quite wanting to be in. Let's say it's mirroring lack. Just feeling and seeing yourself and getting clear around what it looks like, and then going into meditation and being formless, I guess, and then being able to see and feel that feeling is so important to moving into those states. So just know that heaven is here on earth. All those versions of you exist in this timeline. It's just about you getting to that vibrational match for it.
yeah,
That's why we're here,
yeah,
to help us
absolutely.
all do that.
Yeah, it really is. I say it's simple, but of course, to do this, we also have to overcome a lifetime of programming and conditioning to the contrary.
Correct.
And I think that's where the challenge lies. And it's building the consistency around it, building the
Exactly.
practice around it.
Exactly. And that's just why we at Elevated Planet see ourselves in some ways as an anchor. Because maybe during the week it was difficult for you to maintain that vibration. But if you can get consistent on a Sunday in meditating and seeing that and sitting in that energy, hopefully that will begin to gain momentum, right? And you think about the more you do it, even if it's just, we'll see in the future. It doesn't take as long as you think. We'll see in the coming show. It doesn't take as long as you think. So really believe in yourself that's easier said than done, right? But carving out your identity from a consciousness place, a place of beauty, love, whatever from creator, really carving your identity around that and getting clear is important. I'm learning, because a lot of us see ourselves through the eyes of others. We're not really seeing ourselves from our own eyes, our third eye, or from our heart even. I don't
Mm.
even think most of us don't even really see ourselves from the heart. We're too busy analyzing our mistakes and our struggle. So let's pivot.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? There's something, Jolé, that I've been thinking about over the last few days is kind of starting to open this up to the community and start to build, literally create, those who are interested. Like let's, because you and I are on this journey along with the community, right? At the same
Right.
time, we know that those feelings of lack, those feelings of insecurity, whatever, they keep coming back, right? So if we work on this together, if we all decide, okay, right, we are going to get together and we're going to have a separate, separate format through which we can get to exchange views and set out what we're trying to achieve, and just to help to embed these things, to help to ingrain them, to build the disciplines around that.
Mhm.
I feel excited about this.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the beauty of a community is especially once you learn how to be a friend. Like we think about the theta brainwave, and a lot of theta healers learn that you have to know what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. You're teaching yourselves those things in the theta brainwave, right? And it's the same thing with what we're doing. You have to know what does it look like? What does it feel like for me? What does
Yeah.
it embody? And I think that's another aspect of it that we need to kind of look at is in a supportive community. Thank goodness we're here because we can tell each other, you're the creator. You're worth more than that. You can do better, and hearing these things versus that competitiveness, that lack of, I want you to do well, but I don't want you to do as good as me. In Elevated Planet, we're like, we want you to thrive because when you do better, you're pulling us up. So
Yeah.
it's like we're all here to support one another and learn how to be good friends, not only to other people, but to ourselves.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I love all that. Um, so I wanted to just share that thing that came from Chris Stiles, the Human Futurist, today, because I found this really interesting. We were looking at this earlier.
Yes.
Let's have a quick. I'll just call it up on the screen. Give me a second. Here it is. Right. So here we go. So this is it, and I'm just going to read these out to you because this is actually looking at it from a futurist point of view. What the years ahead are suggesting from the futurist codes, if you like, which is like a numerology type of thing, but as Chris has expanded these things out to go way beyond that. But nevertheless, I'm just going to read this out. 2025, the year of the reveal. All this is insanity. There has to be more than this toxic chaos, is the quote. 2026, the year of remembering. The quote says, this is when humanity says, we've had enough. 2027, the year of resurgence. And the quote is, the divine feminine energy kicks in massively. 2028, the year of resurrection. The divine masculine energy kicks in massively. 2029, the year of rebirth. Divine masculine and divine feminine birth divine child. 2030, the year of the reunion. Quote is, the trinity of the Holy Grail surfaces, 5D stirs things up. 2031, the year of the reclamation. Quote says, humanity understands 3D has hit its sell-by date. And then 2032, the restoration. This is when heaven comes down to earth, true 5D. And then 2033, and I love this, Christ consciousness. Master number 33 is locked in. And it is, it's true. Like that, I think Jesus was thought to be 33 when he went on to, went onto the cross. And it was like everything around 33 is that Christ consciousness number. but it's not the second coming of a person this time around. This is the activating the Christ consciousness that resides within us all. So thank you, Chris, and we're going to put this on the newsletter as well tomorrow. So I'm going to just stop my share on that. Right. So yeah, we're going to put that on the newsletter tomorrow as well, and that'll have links on it. And anybody who wants to join the newsletter, drop me an email at johndrew@elevatedplanet.life, or contact us through our elevatedplanet.life website /contact page. Will get you to the contact page where you can send any free format messages that you wish to, and we'll get you on that distribution list. So Jolé, what do you want to add?
Let's move on.
I'm with you. Right, we're going to part 2 now, and we start off with a little thing that suggests that life is a celebration. So here we go. Bear with me.
Imagine for a moment that there's a hidden power within you, one that's been suppressed by the elite for centuries. That power is your pineal gland, revered as the third eye by yogis and Christian mystics alike, who saw it as a gateway between the physical and the divine. Masters like Neville Goddard didn't talk about glands, but they revealed that your imagination is God in action. When you enter a state similar to sleep and feel your desire as already real, you shape the world around you. By combining this imaginative power with the activation of the third eye, you tear through the veil of reality and take control of your destiny. This ancient inner technology has long been hidden from the masses. The few who master it create miracles and command their lives. But beware, this forbidden knowledge won't remain accessible forever. Will you awaken now or stay trapped in the illusion?
Your pineal gland is literally a radio receiver in your head. Researchers found it's packed with calcite crystals that vibrate with piezoelectricity, the same property that makes quartz crystals power radios and watches. In other words, your brain has a built-in antenna. That's why ancient traditions called it the third eye, the gateway to intuition, dreams, and higher states of consciousness. Crucial elements to manifesting your desires. Tonight, before bed, place your focus on the center of your forehead and whisper, "Open my inner vision." As you drift into sleep, notice the images and insights that rise.
Okay, so just coming back into the room. Yeah, so again, we're just keeping that brief. And this is really Jolé's area of expertise when it comes to intuition, pineal gland, and all the like. So Jolé, could I bring you in to comment on that?
Absolutely, here I am. All right, so let's talk about the pineal gland. So the pineal gland is like a pine cone shaped organ, and it's located in the center of the brain between the two hemispheres. Now, what's so interesting about it is it's one of the few structures in the brain that's not divided in half, symbolizing unity. And it's part of the endocrine system, which produces melatonin and keeps your circadian rhythms in check. And why is it called the third eye? It's because it's known as the seat of intuition and spiritual insight. And it corresponds with both the third eye and the crown. It bridges the physical and non-physical worlds. And Descartes, he said it was the seat of the soul. And we know Gary Zukov has really expanded on that one, right? In his Seat of the Soul book series. Its energetic function is it's a transponder or a transducer, I should say, of light. And it converts energy into awareness. So it's really a part of your consciousness. I mean, it is, if you want to think about a physical one of the components of it, that would be the pineal gland. And so it allows for intuitive insight, and it synchronizes with higher dimensional information that's coming in through lucid dreaming. And you have moments of deep knowing. That means that that pineal gland has gone bing, and it bridges the mind and the spirit. And it has a biochemical and spiritual link as well. And it releases DMT. I know you guys have heard that before, which is known as a spirit molecule. Lots of people, I think, try to get into that state. I think ayahuasca is one of the things that helps kind of tune into that. And in altered states like deep meditation and anyone who's had a near-death experience or visionary dream, it reinforces the idea that expanded consciousness has a biological correlation. So you're almost dying, and then now your pineal's like, okay, here's some information. But we don't have to do that. You can go into a deep meditative state and experience the same thing. Now, let's get into some of the issues with it, because we live in a society that's decided that calcifying the pineal gland is the way to go. So as an individual and a collective, we've got to begin to decalcify, uncalcify, whatever that word is, the pineal gland, because this is what is going to get us into these states of being, our frequencies going up. And so fluoride, get off the fluoride toothpaste. Get yourself some charcoal or something different, because it's really not good. And in America, it's already in the water. So let's not double dip with the fluoride. Okay. Also, stress. So, really learning how to manage your stress in ways such as lifting heavy, cardio, movement, dancing. And here is a really cute little anecdote with our little dancing video. You saw that because when you're dancing, when you're in a bad mood or frustrated, you cannot stay in that state if you shake your booty. So anytime anyone is upset or mad, if you get them to shake their booty, automatically, believe it or not, your frequency raises. So that's one thing to do when you're in a stressful state, is just get up, shake it out, and then get back to it. And so all of these things like processed food, lack of sleep, lack of sunlight, believe it or not, going out in the sun decalcifies your pineal, especially the morning sun. So do that and eat clean, because we know the food is a huge aspect. That processed food automatically calcifies it. So once we've started to decalcify the pineal, how do we activate it? By meditation. We spoke about that earlier. Just a few minutes a day is enough to get that pineal gland moving. You want to breathe in through the nose and hold it, which gently pressurizes the energy upward, like in a Joe Dispenza meditation. If anybody has gone through his meditations, they know you hold your breath and you really hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then you let it go. And it does something to your body. Your cells just start to feel like they're carbonated. Chanting Om, very simply, that vibration resonates directly into your pineal cavity. And if you tune into 963 or 852 hertz, that automatically begins to work with the pineal gland. Practicing gratitude and stillness, that raises the vibration and frequency naturally. And this, remember, is your biological antenna. It actually is a biological, tangible part of your consciousness, period. And so it receives higher frequencies all the time, and it allows the body to interact with infinite frequencies and vibrations. So this is a very powerful, powerful means of increasing your frequency and vibration.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. It just kind of made me think actually about, I don't know how long ago, it was maybe 3 or 4 years now, when I had my first sort of reading with Avine, the healer, our healer over
Yeah.
in Ireland. And she does this thing, the quantum, it's not quantum healing, it's quantum
Light pod.
light pod healing. That's it.
That's the
Thank you.
light pod
Thank you.
activation.
And
Yes.
she goes down through all your different chakras. And she was said, like, first time she got into that third eye chakra, she said there was so much calcification on it. and she was able to break it away and clean it all up and all this kind of thing. But that's because, you know, as you say, it's the fluoride, whether it's in the
Yes.
water, whether it's in your toothpaste, and all these other things. And this is all very calculated, you know.
Yes.
This is designed to keep us less than we are. But to your point, I kind of get it that we can actually do that cleaning job ourselves as well,
Yeah.
right? By reaching out.
Yes.
And I must admit, every time I do the meditation thing, when you're running meditations for us, I get this buzz right here.
Hmm.
I feel that sense
Yes.
of connection right here. So clearly it works.
Yes, it does. And because we've been programmed to be sheep, we don't realize how much of a creator and how powerful we are. This is your body. Believe it or not, you have control over it. It's just our power's dissipated. So when you think you could say to yourself, okay, I am healthy. Yes, but you've got to say that constantly all day long, kind of thinking that, going into Om, Ho'oponopono. These are the things that kind of you take with you so that you can undo. And believe it or not, it doesn't take as long to undo it that it took to do it. So they say like half the time, you can speed that up once you start getting into those deep meditative states.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's building that practice and just making it so that it becomes like part of your day. So you don't not
Yes.
even thinking about it. You just do it. And
Right.
that is what kind of transforms things. So, and it's interesting because the next section we've got coming up now is with Gregg Braden and also with Alan Watts. Again, reinforces a lot of the points you were making along the way there, Jolé, as well. So, shall we dive in?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, here we go, guys. Bear with me a second.
Now, active benefits, once you're in that space, and this is where the really juicy stuff happens, deep intuition, precognition. Your heart will sense an event before it actually happens, and there's science showing why that is. Like so many people knew 9/11 was going to happen before it happened. And I'm not saying they did this, but they knew intuitively. There are 1,300 positive biochemical reactions from harmonizing the heart and the brain. 3 steps. One is you shift your focus from your mind into your heart to bring their awareness to their heart center, developed by the Institute of Heart Math. Second step is to slow your breathing. And the key here, you exhale for a period of time longer than you inhale. For example, if we inhale four counts and release 6, okay, that might work for me. Somebody at higher elevation might do it differently. But the point, when you exhale for a period of time longer than you inhale, that triggers the relaxation response, parasympathetic nervous system. You're telling your body, I am safe. The third step is where you create 0.01 hertz. You feel a feeling, a positive feeling, because you choose to feel the feeling. And this is deceptively powerful because most forms of life, including humans, only have a feeling in response to what the world shows to them. We have the ability to have a feeling because we choose to have the feeling. And what the science is showing is that the feeling of gratitude almost 100% works for everyone. We all can sense gratitude. I mean, you can think of words like compassion. That means different things to different people. Love means different things. We can be grateful for our children, our families, our lives, something like that. And when we feel that feeling, it sends a signal, a very low frequency, 0.1 hertz, from the heart to the brain in the presence of the slower breathing. And that harmonization is what gives all the benefits that we just shared.
Gratitude is not simply saying thank you for things. It is the recognition that you already have everything you need. When you feel grateful, you're not lacking. And if you're not lacking, you are no longer chasing. In that moment, you vibrate at the frequency of abundance. Because the universe doesn't speak in language, it speaks in resonance. And gratitude, our gratitude, is the song of alignment. So when you feel grateful, not for what's coming, but for what already is, you become a magnet, not for things, but for the energy that makes all things possible. That is abundance.
Brilliant. Bear with me. And we're back again. So thank you to Gregg for his wisdom and Alan Watts as well. And again, reinforcing the points, a lot of the points there that were made by Jolé. You know, the gratitude thing, the abundance, it's all aligned. It's all about vibrational alignment. You know, and the heart-brain kind of connection is so vital. And because that is, again, the pineal gland linked to the heart, and that magnetic attraction from the heart is so powerful. That's where the emotion comes from. And I like what Greg was saying again about the breath thing, because I've noticed myself, I've been experimenting with this, like, you know, probably since I went to see Gregg Braden like a year and a half ago over in Sedona, because we had breathwork sessions there that are quite remarkable. And, you know, we have Isa Visanti, who's part of our community, who does breathwork. She's a facilitator for the likes of Greg and various others. And she does these breathwork sessions. And what I discovered for myself is that exactly as Greg says, if you breathe in, say, for a count of 4, but then breathe out for a count of 6. Now, yeah, I've discovered my own way. And I kind of completely fill myself full of breath, but then I hold my breath for a few moments. And then I have this super long exhale, and it really creates this buzzing. It's a beautiful feeling. It's just kind of like, you know, if you like having a drink or whatever, you know, that helps you to kind of elevate to a higher plane. This is the simple, fast way of doing it. And I do that about 5 times, and wow, it just blows my mind. It's just so beautiful. So that thing about the inhale for a shorter period, then you exhale. Powerful, powerful. So yeah, and it's about getting into that feeling, the feeling of a wish fulfilled that we've talked about. And it's through our imagination. And what is our imagination? Our imagination is the 4th dimension that we've kind of been talked out of, right? We're four-dimensional beings living in a way that we've been trained to live in just in 3 dimensions only. The imagination is where we create our reality from. So that is the missing link. That is the bit that once we start to take that seriously, and it's not just fantasy, this is where your future is coming from. Whatever you focus your attention upon, you are building. And we get into this next section to kind of gives it a little bit more force behind that as well. So when we were going to school, and you know, for me, I was always one who was, you know, a daydreamer, right? So that doesn't do very well in school, right? Because they want you to learn certain facts and be able to regurgitate certain facts. And my imagination, you know, you kind of get talked out of it, right? So that is now, you realize, is now part of the education process, is designed to keep us small as well, right? Not everybody in that education system is that way inclined. Obviously, a lot of really good people trying to do really good work, but nevertheless, that system is designed in a way that, again, is part of the challenge. From when we come into this incarnation, we have to almost overcome our education system as well. And I do believe the education system of the future is going to be vastly different. On the new Earth is going to be vastly different to what it's been in the past. So I think that is really an important thing to remember. That 4th dimensional energy that we all have access to is our imagination. It's where we create our reality from. And as Alan Watts said, vibrating at the frequency of abundance, which is gratitude. So when we are grateful for what we have, even if arguably we don't yet have it, but you feel the feeling of the gratitude for the thing that you know is coming to you, and you know it's coming to you because it's universal law that it will be so. So feel the gratitude in advance, and that gets you into vibrational alignment with where you need to be. And we become a magnet for the energy that makes all things possible. How exciting is that? Jolé, what do you reckon?
See why they've turned us upside down? You know, you're so powerful. So if people are thinking in ways of, if I can use your power for my benefit, then that's what I'm going to do, instead of empowering us. So it's time for us to recognize that and go, you know what? I am the creator of my own reality. I have the power to change. Now, I sit here saying that, and I'm also on the train of learning how to do that. Don't get me wrong. But when we start to immerse ourselves in these concepts and we continue to educate ourselves and talk about these things, we really begin to, I guess what you would say, um, dissolve the boundaries of what is possible, right? I think now we might see ourselves as a cap. And in the meditation, we'll go and get into this formlessness where you can pull, right? When you're formless, you're a part of everything, a part of the oneness. You
Yes.
get to that 0 point, and then you can call in the things that you want, right? And then reform yourself. That's a possibility. That's a visualization or something we can hold on to each day. I'm angry and I'm frustrated. Let me get to 0 point. So, because I want to feel joy and abundance. So let me sit down for a minute, feel this 0 point, become formless, and pull in joy and abundance. And you'll also notice one more thing. I'm kind of pivoting here, but I spoke about friendship, right? And you'll notice that as you begin to raise your vibration or lower it, certain people begin to fall away because now you're moving into a different reality or paradigm. And that's a manifestation in a way in real time of frequency changing based on the people that are in your environment. Sometimes it's for your benefit that you are no longer connecting with certain people. And although it's tragic, that might be your way of up leveling.
Hmm.
But again, I want us to understand what friendship looks like. I think this is very important because we need to be friends to ourselves and each other. And oftentimes we don't know what that looks like. What is loyalty? Is loyalty meaning that you never gossip about your friend? Kind of, right? If there's anything that goes on between you and a friend, you want to talk to the friend about it. And I think sometimes we don't you reach out, you make sure you support, you uplift your friends. These are principles we take for granted and we say, oh, I'm just somebody's friend. And we're moving through this in a pinball sort of way. Wherever it takes me, however I'm feeling, that's how I'm going to relate to this friendship. No, we have to start being intentional about how we're treating ourselves and one another, because that is also a humongous part of raising your frequency and vibration.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said. And we've got a few comments that have come in now from I Am. That's the name that's actually coming through. And that kind of tells you a lot of what you need to know, right? Because
Yeah,
we know how powerful I Am is, right?
absolutely.
So I Am says, there is no we, no us, only one exists. Nothing and no one else, only God exists. We are all aspects of God, right? We are
Yes,
all cells in the body of God, however we want to describe that. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Again, this is what it's all about. It's understanding this journey. This is, we are aspects of God, out on individuated journeys to learn and to grow, and it's fascinating. When
absolutely.
anyone says I am, that is God. When someone asks you your name, you will say, and this is ex Matthew, when asked who is Matthew, you will say me. Who is the me? No one cometh at the Father but by me. So, yeah, there is no you, only God exists playing the parts of many. That absolutely nails it.
Mhm.
Playing the parts of many. This is what makes this all so liberating, because we're out here in the game of life, right? We're all aspects of divine creation, all on our journey. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your
Yes,
comment.
for the comments.
Yeah. Are we ready to dive into the next section?
Absolutely. Time to
Right.
move on.
Here we go, guys. Bear with me.
Life works like a game in which your words and thoughts are invisible forces and precise commands that the universe executes without questioning. Florence Scovel Shinn decoded the mechanism. Life operates like a game with mathematical rules, but nobody has explained the instructions. You move pieces on a board that you cannot see, activating laws that you don't know, creating results that seem accidental but are calculated. The subconscious processes millions of pieces of information per second and accepts each of your words as a literal instruction. When you say any variation of I can't, it reorganizes your perception to prove that you are right. The disturbing part is discovering that you have been repeating the same commands for decades. Inherited from your parents, reinforced by the culture, and accepted as reality. 3 laws govern this game. Your words create vibrations that shape matter. You magnetize what you genuinely expect, and resistance strengthens what you fight against. Everyone is playing. The difference is that some know the rules.
There's a law in physics that basically says that when you have energy that is vibrating at a particular frequency, within 17 seconds, other energy like that will be attracted to it. So if I'm having a positive thought or a negative thought, then what happens is that energy is attracted to it. I have other thoughts that are like that thought. So if you do that 17 seconds, 17 seconds, 17, for 68 seconds, then momentum begins to occur. Let's say that I'm normally, all of our emotions have a frequency to it. So if I'm in despair or anger or worry, all of those are lower, denser frequencies. You get into things like contentment, happiness, joy, love. Those are higher, faster frequencies. So let's say that I normally live in contentment, and that's my set point, because that's where I live. I think about that all the time. That's what my makeup is, that sort of thing. So I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden, a car cuts me off, and I get angry. So now I'm in the lower, denser frequencies. And so then I go back to the office, and I'm telling all my colleagues, here's what happened. This knucklehead cut me off. Go home, tell my wife that. What am I doing? I'm vibrating angry energy. So I go to the supermarket, and there is somebody in line. I have 3 items, and I'm getting in line, and somebody ahead of me has 38 items. And the guy that's running the cash register, it's his first day, and he's not doing very well. He's very slow. Is that a coincidence? No, it's something for me to get angry about. So I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating.
Right. Okay. So back once more. Yeah, that's really, again, the work of Florence Scovel, Shinn. Her work was published back in 1925, right? The Game of Life and How to Play It. She was a remarkable lady. She really understood so many things. And you think about that, that was 100 years ago that book came out. And the likes of Gregg Braden, Joe Dispenza, and so many more are actually, recounting in their own way through a more scientific method exactly what Florence was saying 100 years ago. So I just love that. And the 3 rules: your words create vibrations that shape matter. We know that. Okay. And also that reminds me of when Dr. David Clements was talking about this as well, at a subatomic level, how that actually works. So we've covered that off as well. Always check out Dr. David Clements, the work, the shows we've done with his work as well. You magnetize what you genuinely expect. And I think that's important, because what you genuinely expect isn't always what you say, because if you say it but you don't believe it, then your vibration is the not believing it bit, right? So you have to be steeped in that emotion. And resistance strengthens what you fight against. We know this to be true, right? What you resist persists. So it's getting your head around these rules of the game. It's not complicated. But in order to truly tap into the wisdom, we have to embody it. That's the bottom line. And that Jeffrey Finnan, who did that last little section there, talks about the 17-second rule and the 68-second rule, which means that 4 times the 17 seconds starts to create that movement that is really, you're magnetizing things to yourself after 17 seconds. After 68 seconds, that is the point when momentum begins to occur. So real things begin to happen. And this is a very powerful double-edged sword, because it works in both directions. If you're thinking negatively, as he was talking about, you're magnetizing that. If you're thinking positive, you're magnetizing that. We are the creators of our own experience. And this is why it's so powerful. Jolé, what would you care to add?
We are absolutely the creators of our own experience. We have to remember that, I think a lot of us go through each day, sort of, even me, just whatever happens, happens, as if we are not in total control of what is going on around us. And so learning how to meditate and learning how to visualize, just that simple step of taking your power back a few moments each day to create, to visualize, to see the life that you want, it truly is life-changing. But there's so much information out there helping you to not do it. So it's like, how do we check in? How do we get to the point where we're like this, no matter what's happening, I'm going to do this, right?
That's it.
It's moments throughout your day. It's when you're driving, walking. We always have to think we have to put aside time for this. Absolutely not. The way to bridge the gap from a thought of imagination into reality is to have that in your pocket or in your heart at all times. And you're tapping into it and you're tapping into it throughout the day. And guess what? Throughout the day, you can take moments where you'll get to that 68 seconds of seeing yourself and feeling that feeling. Now, I believe the rub is we do that, but we often do it with the past and things we've done wrong or we'd like to revisualize or create. But the good news is that when we change ourselves in the present, we've also quantumly start to change the past and the choices that we've made, which are now pivoting us and setting us up for the future of our purpose. So remember, when you have those moments of the past come into your mind, that's your cue to align with your purpose, to begin in that present moment to feel the opposite of that, or to feel something that is going to bring in, because remember, you're an antenna. We've got to stay at attention with these concepts, I believe, John, because it's so easy to fall back into the sarcasm, the lack of belief, the self-deprecating energy, because that's what our society is sort of feeding us a lot of.
Yes, it is. It is, as we've said before, overcoming the programming of many, many decades to kind of build it into a practice so that it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
And as soon as we can build it into ourselves as second nature to realize our true power, then basically we're starting to create miracles around ourselves, the miracles that we want, rather than the ones that happen as a result of unconscious action.
Yeah. And it is really important that we not give things our energy. There's a lot of rhetoric around division nowadays, and it can really piss you off, for lack of a better word, especially if you're seeing different pockets of people being, degraded or whatever. It can really get you angry. But at the same time, you have to understand that's a low vibration. And, I've had to learn that the hard way myself, but it's such a low vibration. Although it needs to be dealt with on some level, are you the one to be dealing with it? Do you really want to go there? Are you, no, maybe us moving to unspeakable beauty means that we pull people up to our level of, we are all 0 point beings of creation. We are all one. And once you get there, that life, that whole division, that whole news report, it begins to dissolve. You don't even come in contact with it anymore.
Exactly.
That's where we're going.
Yes. And,
that's where we are.
Exactly. And it's really shifting everyone that we can, or again, everybody has their own choice, right? But moving out of unconscious creation into conscious creation.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. That's everything. So we're going to leap into this next section now. And thank you. Again, so many quotes here from I Am, and really, really do value that. We don't have time to go through them straight away because we need to keep this moving. But let's move into this next section now, which again, it talks about the universal mirror. This is kind of an important part of understanding this as well. So bear with me a second. Here we go again.
Did you know the world doesn't see you as you are, but as you see yourself? Life treats you the way you treat yourself, because everything you experience is a reflection of what lives within you. You're not here to react to the world. You're here to create it. So, who creates the universe? Who shapes reality? You do. Learn to observe your thoughts. Project them as the most beautiful masterpiece. Not from fear, but from what you truly deserve by divine right. Even the impossible is yours. Don't run from your power. Own it, because you are far more than an observer. You are the creator. And with every thought, you paint the universe you choose to live in.
Your manifestation has already happened. Neville mapped out that in the instant when you assume a state with genuine feeling, the bridge of incidence forms completely in consciousness, instantaneously. Inevitably, the time that you experience waiting is an illusion. While you repeat empty affirmations, reality has already reorganized itself. The people around you are executing roles and bridges that they don't even know exist. Every person that you encounter is yourself pushed out. Every door that opens or closes responds to your dominant state of consciousness. The teachings of Abraham call this the vortex. Dispenza calls it the collapse of the wave function. Vadim Zeland calls it the space of variations. They've all discovered the same thing. Everything completes itself instantaneously in consciousness before it appears in the physical. The bridge exists, complete, now. You are walking across it without realizing it. The world conspires to confirm what you have already assumed to be true. Stop looking for signs. You are the sign.
We are back again. Yeah, so hopefully you'll have all mastered that dance then by the time we get it. So when we go do our celebrating life dance, then that is it. So keep playing that one back and get it mastered. And as Jolé was saying, you can't get angry if you're shaking your booty. Well, if you're doing that dance, I don't imagine you can have any negative emotions either.
John, we got to tell them that's the dance you have to do to cross the bridge to unspeakable beauty. You're going to have to pass that test.
Yeah, exactly. But it is all about celebrating life, because when you're in that high state of emotions, it's you can't think negatively.
Exactly. That's why dancing is so important. And it's a tradition that has been in, earth cultures, from the beginning of time, because it connects you in some way to the energy and the frequency of joy. So dance as much as you can, and don't let people shame you. Oh, you can't dance. Go ahead and just dance your heart out.
Yeah. We're going to start doing the weeklies from now on with river dance.
And twerking. We'll have the two extremes, right?
Yeah, that's it. Twerking while working. That's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, so but again, getting back to that reflection thing, the universal mirror, I think that this is how we do create our world. We project our thought, and I love that thought. Project your thoughts as the most beautiful masterpiece. Even the impossible is ours. You are the creators of your reality. That is it. Think of those thoughts have got to be your masterpiece, and you focus on that, because that's what's coming your way. Every person you encounter is yourself pushed out, was one of the things mentioned in the wise quotes. And I thought, I never thought about that. I thought, yeah, because the people outside of us are reflecting back to us what we are putting out.
Exactly.
Wow, mind blown. So everything completes itself instantaneously in consciousness before it appears in the physical. So stop looking externally for signs. You are the sign. Wow. Beautiful stuff. Okay. So, Jolé, anything you want to add to that?
Just know that whatever's going on in the external is going on in the internal. So to change that, you got to change what's going on within, period.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so now we are going to go heading towards the meditation, but we're going to just, instead of just going directly into the meditation, we got Dr. Joe, who's going to lead us that way. Jolé is going to give us a few seconds there to talk it through before we go into hit the meditation button. But bear with me a second. Dr. Joe is coming up to join us.
If you said, okay, I'm going to work with my body, and I'm going to start breathing, and I'm going to start feeling emotions that I do want to feel, the heart starts producing a very profound signal. It starts to produce an external magnetic field. It's measurable. So now you have a coherent brain, which means you can get very intentional, and you have a coherent heart, which means you can feel the emotions of your future before it happens. Somehow you have this broadcasting of this Wi-Fi signal, and the brain tends to be electrical in nature, so it sends out an electrical charge into the field. The heart is the magnetic charge. It's what draws things to us. You actually, by changing the way you think and the way you feel, you're changing the signal in the field. And if you're able to maintain that state for an extended period of time, I say something magical is going to happen in your life.
The building blocks there of a meditation or of just moving throughout your day. How do you get in your heart, you might ask? Looking at someone, making eye contact and smiling is a great way to do it. You know, doing things that make others feel good along with you, playing with animals, you know, going out in nature. These are the things that the heart magnetizes that love and that joy in, and then that electrical signal from the brain goes out. So that's where that coherence comes in. So as we move into this meditation, we're going to do a quickie, as I like to call it. We're going to take in some meditation knowingness to just squeeze it into a 5 or 10 minute moment of aligning with the purpose, seeing the biggest part of you, the zenith of where you want to be, and turning that into a feeling which then moves us into reality.
Okay. Okay, just bear with me a second. We are just going to switch screens and we are on our way.
So now, let's put our feet flat on the floor, our palms face up on our thighs. For those of you laying down, just keep your feet flat for the beginning part of the meditation as you bring your awareness to your chest and just begin to breathe with the rhythm of your body. First, just be present, occupy all the space in your body. But the core of you is at the heart. Take a moment and become acquainted, actually become best friends with your body. Listen to it breathe and give it a moment of ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. As you catch the rhythm. And once it's caught, I want you to breathe in for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 5. Exhale for a count of 6. Again, we're going to inhale for a count of 5. Hold it for a count of 6. And exhale for a count of 7. And this time we're going to inhale for a count of 6. Hold it for a count of 7. And exhale for a count of 8. And now we're going to bring our awareness to our sit bones and ground our energy into Mother Earth. You are safe, divinely protected. You are allowed to ask for what you want and receive it. So as this grounding cord moves through reality, which is this Mother Earth 3D world, you're a 4D being. Call in those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles to clean the inside and the outside of your grounding cord, really securing your relationship with Mother Earth and this reality, and being able to be a creator using the energy of Mother Earth and the laws of the universe. As you pull your aura in to be 1.5 feet around you, you call your higher self to stand at the power position, a comfortable distance above your crown, as you snap in your astral body. Feet in feet, knees in knees, hips in hips, hands in hands, shoulders in shoulders, head in head, fitting inside of you like a hand fits inside of a glove. And you put that beautiful golden sun above your head, your higher self, filled with creator energy, unconditional love, 0 point energy, which is you. And you bring that as you open your crown, you're going to bring that golden sun down through the channels of your chakras as it moves down your grounding cord, chasing down into the core of Mother Earth, those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles. See that golden, beautiful sun liquefy as it moves down your grounding cord, solidifying you in the present moment. As you begin to open your feet and call in that 15% earth energy pooling in the bottoms of your feet of a color that resonates with you. And then moving up the side channels while simultaneously your crown chakra opens and that 85% cosmic gold comes cascading down from the heavens, raining down on your higher self, focusing itself down your crown into your cranium, waking up that pineal gland. So let's get to work here and decalcifying this pineal gland. I want you to just see that beautiful, vibrant gold light beaming on that pineal gland. I mean, just shaking off all that calcification, recalibrating this pineal gland. And take a moment and work with your antenna. Pull it up, move it up like an antenna, like that electrical signal. What is it picking up? It's picking up the laws of the universe, abundance, cause and effect, rhythm, correspondence, attraction. As that portal from your heart to the center of your head opens. And as this earth energy of a color that resonates with you mixes in with that beautiful gold, some of it moves down the grounding cord, moving out all that you're ready to let go of and release the frequency and the vibration that is no longer serving you. Move it out. And as this heart and this mind are working in tandem and in coherence, sit in the center of your chest, bring your awareness there, and visualize, see, feel, hear, alignment with your purpose. While this essence is moving through your body, the boundaries of who you are begin to dissolve, and you become one with the universe. You are now universal essence, one with that 0 point. So from this state of being, see yourself healthy, abundant, joyful. Be specific about what you're seeing. What does it look like to live in abundance? What does it feel like to live in abundance, to live in unspeakable beauty. What does it look like? What does it act like? What does it say? Become all of it. As you breathe with the rhythm of your body and you let yourself know it is safe for you to have these things as you hold on to this vision, this feeling of abundance, of alignment with the laws of the universe, your purpose, unspeakable beauty. Moving all of that stress, that worry, doubt, and fear out of the body and moving in all of the beauty of Mother Earth and the divine. And you're going to visualize a golden sun. Now you're formless, so it's just out there. And in this golden sun, I want you to see all of that energy just pouring into that golden sun. The golden sun is the new boundaries of you. There's no boundaries, but the form of yourself is going to be reformed into this new energy that is contained within this golden sun. Upgrading your DNA, your frequency, and your vibration to align with the energy in that golden sun, which is your purpose. So when you're ready, bring down that golden sun, allow it to fall into that river of gold, cosmic life force energy that's already in flow. Moving it down, and as it hits your crown, it just begins to extend and expand all throughout your cranium, down your neck, into your body, and out into your aura layer, down into Mother Earth. And as you see those vibrations move out into the universe and your antenna goes up, you begin to take on the shape and form of the new you, the abundant, the unconditional loving, the joyful, the excellent being of light that you are. So sit in this energy and let it just reverberate out into the universe, sending that signal right from the heart out into the universe. And that antenna, electrical signals calling back to you as you take on shape and form. As you breathe with the rhythm of your body, bring your awareness back into your chest. And I want you to breathe in for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 5. And exhale for a count of 6. And visualize your feet chakras closing and that earth energy receding back down to Mother Earth. And now you're going to take in a deep breath for a count of 5. Hold it for a count of 6. Exhale for a count of 7. As you close your hand chakras, they opened automatically. And you're going to inhale for a count of 6. Hold it for a count of 7. Exhale for a count of 8 as you visualize your crown closing and that gold light ascending back through your higher self and up into the heavens. And you take a deep breath in. And now exhale. Relax. Allow the energy to settle. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
We're back.
And we're back.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Really rounds things off very, very nicely. So a couple of things to mention then as we do go into wrap up now. I got a message from Lindy, actually, who's out there now watching, and she was asking about the wise quotes, the bearded guy who always comes on to do the first minute. And who is he? And it's a really good question, because I had the same question myself going back when I first started coming across these, which I'd never seen before. And they're also always so very deep and very profound and go into a number of different authors and teachers and stuff. It's all very anonymous. I can't find out who he is. If anybody knows,
I think he's AI.
yeah, it could be AI. But the wisdom that comes through.
Right. It's someone doing the wisdom and then using like an avatar. That's what I believe. So he's just an avatar of goodwill.
Yes. Yes. I've got to say, I took some of this away with me when I went on vacation and over to Mauritius. And I listened to some of this stuff time and again, and it is so accurate, so deep, and it's so beautiful. So I would certainly recommend anybody to kind of check it out. But I think you hit the nail on the head there, Jolé, and that's the reason there is so much anonymity around it as well. And yeah, also just to mention again to I am, because it was there were so many comments came through, really grateful, and ultimately it's really fascinating stuff as well. Thought-provoking comments that are coming through, and it's basically saying there's only one of us in the room, right? Unity consciousness all wrapped up in that. So
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you putting in so much thought into that. Thank you very much. And also, just to say, we are sending the newsletter out tomorrow. Jolé and I will be working on that, and it will be on its way. And we will have the edited version of this show. We will have anything else that is coming up that is worth sharing will also be on there. Anything you want to add to that, Jolé?
No, just don't forget to meditate and visualize and focus.
Yes, it is time. No, it's time for us to take back our power now.
Yes.
Anybody that wants to join us on this journey, or has an interest in joining us for this specific project, that we will come out with more information on that. But John Drew at elevatedplanet.life is the email address, or elevatedplanet.life/contact gets you to our contact page, where you can send any free format message you care to. And I think that's about it for this week, Jolé, would you say?
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you like what you see. Even if you don't, help us out. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we have so much gratitude.
We do. And yeah, hopefully you did enjoy it. But please do, as Jolé said, please like, share, and subscribe. We've got to get the word out there, and we're going to have fun with it. So get working on your celebration dance, and we'll be back in a week's time, one way or another. So take care all, and thank you for being here, and thank you, Jolé.
Bye-bye.